Doing great, man. How was your weekend? Here we go. Here we go. Let's check this out. You have a good Father's Day? Oh, dude, it's much better. Much better. One thing I am doing is rehabbing it really hard. So I'm back in the gym today. So I'm pretty excited about that. I thought it was going to be a lot more serious. So it's I'm just taking it easy, but at the same time, just trying to test it, make sure it's good. It's just like one of those lagging. It's like a lagging indicator. Nah, it's a lagging injury that just it never goes away. It's amazing how this thing works. It's a pain in my ass, but it is what it is, buddy. All right, let's see. I'll break this down for you. All right. So my runner got stopped out on GJ. I actually ended up moving my stop loss down a little bit, but I ended up getting in somewhere up here. But let's take a look. It looks like we are forming support over here on the daily on 152. And this is exactly what we were talking about yesterday when we were breaking the charts down. The fact that this candle right over here ended up closing a very strong body candle, but no bottom wick. Actually, it has a bottom wick, but barely. I wouldn't even count that as a wick. So when that happens, there's a 50-50 possibility that price is going to just continue down, or it's going to end up forming support over here, reject this area down here, just like it did, and end up flipping bullish to create a support, especially the fact that this is a psychological level at 152. Right. So nice rejection. I think Gary got in GBP USD, correct? What's up, Gary? Got your new mic.
What's up?
There he is.
Can you hear me?
What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Yeah, GU, I got him.
Awesome. Are you still in it?
Yeah.
Nice. 20 pips?
Hold on. Oh, yeah.
I was just looking at the London session.
About 30.
30. Beautiful. Nice Monday morning move. That's awesome.
That's it.
So so right over here, we just rejected this area. We are bullish right down. Nice strong body candle right over here on the daily. Let's see how much higher it goes. That's a pretty big candle over here. Pretty big swing, I would say. About 140 pip swing from yesterday. So we'll see. Looking at the 4 hour over here, we got a nice fake out, right? But before we had the fake out, we had this resistance form over here. So we got to see what happened right here. This is super simple. Just looking at where price went, what it's doing. Nice fake out. Let's see if price, you get a nice clean move over here on the 4 hour. Let's see if we get a bottom wick over here. And we can capitalize this coming right back up to 153, 153, 500. Looking at the 1 hour. Nice, healthy, bullish candle right over here. Let's see if we get a retest right down here. This candle never passed the high of this candle right over here on the 1 hour. All right, so it looks like we're starting to exhaust down here. We printed a high. I want to see some kind of a support formed in this area. All right, we get a support formed in this area. If we do, we have, let's see from here. Beautiful. We got about 26 pips to retest the high up there, and then about 50 pips to 153 flat. So this may be a nice move over here. I like this bullish pressure. And if you take a look over here, we had this bearish move since last week. Where everything was sells below this area, right? Everything was sells. Now we break out, we hold support right over here, another support over here, pretty higher low. Then we come up above the previous resistance and support over here to the left. Now we just retest this area and take this right back up. This is going to be a nice Monday morning move. So this is nice. I'm happy we're getting this right over here. Now we just sit back and wait. That's all our plan is. Just like Friday, remember? When we took all those trades, all we did was we broke down the charts, we set a plan for ourselves, and we executed. We got exactly what we wanted. Now I'm trying to see if 15-minute is kind of consolidating over here, kind of below this area. It's like in an order block to continue bullish or can come right back down here. Now 639 over here. I was just looking at this and the fact that these are very weak candles over here. So it could be, if we do pass the high of these candles, I would want a candle to close bullish. But if we pass the high of these candles, I want a candle closing above this area on the 15-minute. Something like this. So we have a candle exiting that area, and we have enough pips. We have enough pips right over here. Oh, damn it. Get about 20 pips to 153 to take something right in this area. So that could be a play as well. But you got to make sure that you get what you want. You can't be trying to take a trade in here. He needs to exit that area and close above. How was the weekend, boys? Oh, we got David coming in. I like the weak bearish candle right over here. This is nice. What's up, David?
What's up, bro? Good morning.
How are you?
Good, good.
Good shit. You have a good weekend?
Yeah, I work. Oh,
You had work?
yeah, all day long.
Yeah. You're an adult now. Okay, wow. This is I like this on gold over here. So again, gold, we broke it down yesterday. The whole breakdown is in it's in the database as well if you want to go back and watch it. But right here, we had this bullish channel over here. And then obviously with a bunch of things happened over here we broke down yesterday, but we had the interest rate talks coming in after breaking the bearish trend over here. Then interest rate talks came in here. Strong bearish daily candles coming all the way back down into this consolidation over here to the left. And now what we have is a bearish candle. This is what we pointed out last week, right? If you take a look at these candles, where these candles have a top wick, ends up flipping bearish, but no bottom wick over here. Most of the time, this wick ends up getting filled, right? We form support at a previous support over here, very strong support, and now price is probably going to end up filling this wick. So currently, we have a strong daily bullish candle. Looking at the 4-hour, again, kind of a similar situation where we had our support, price comes all the way back down, and then we fake out. We come right back into that zone right over here, if that's what you want to call it. Again, you see this on the lower time frames a little bit better, right? Where you get this support over here. So you get that fake out, and price comes right back into the range, forms support, continues right back up. Now we are at a previous support over here. Let's see if gold holds it But again, we had this bearish move. Right? All sells below this move after the interest rate talks. Price comes down, forms support over here, retests the trend, and retests the previous support, and continues bullish over here. So now we have a bunch of bullish pressure pushing price up. So I don't want to sell anything below or until we cross this support right down here probably. So right now we could possibly consolidate over here just like we did over here, retap this area, key area, and then continue bullish. It's the 1 hour. 30-minute, can adjust this. Previous resistance as well. Continue bullish over here. Nice strong bullish candle on the 30-minute right here. Probably going to retest these highs or just continue to consolidate. But we have a nice clean move to the left that we could take advantage of today. Now, the only question is, we have two possible scenarios for both our pairs. So which one do we want to take? Is it going to be smart to take both? Let's see. Right now, we got to wait for this bearish candle or bullish candle to close. Maybe if we get a bottom wick and that candle flipping during some volume, we could continue up. But we could very well continue to consolidate over here until New York open. And that's where we'll get that volume with a clean move to the left to retest these highs. Again, you lay out your plan and that's it. 138 pips that we could take advantage of. GBP pairs are bullish over here. Here we go. Did we get a exiting candle over here on the 15-minute? Yes, we did. I'm not taking this right now. I'm just setting my stuff. A lot of volume in GJ right now. This is what we like. I'm probably going to want to wait for a come on, why does this do this?
GU's pushed up as well. Still going. Yeah, still going.
These GBP pairs are pretty strong over here. So you may want to wait for a close above this area. This previous resistance, previous support, we could very well end up rejecting that area. And like we said over here, continue to consolidate. Let's see. We have our support right down here. Our previous zone. That's the 15-minute. Yeah, that would have been a nice pre-New York move. We got plenty of, we could form another support and continue up. So we might be able to get that as well. No FOMO. I thought for sure this was an overextended candle. Very bullish candle over here. We come right back down, barely a top wick. These candles are getting weaker. So we could come right back down to this area or consolidate over here and then continue right back up. I didn't think we were going to push up that quickly. So that's pretty interesting over there. These are nice candles over here. 15-minute closed. Let's see what we got on gold over here. Like I said, we could continue to consolidate. Gio, what's up, buddy?
What's up, boys? Morning.
How are you?
Doing great.
Awesome, man.
How's it going, man?
Good. We're just breaking down a few of our pairs. Right now, we are consolidating over here on gold. We just missed a nice one on GJ, but we were staying patient with it. Nothing. I'm gonna do this. We had this rejection or this resistance right over here, previous support, but we do have on the 30-minute nice clean candles all the way up to this area right up here. So after breaking this bearish trend over here, we now have all this bullish pressure pushing price right back up to some of these previous highs that we had. So we may, and GJ, not GJ, but the pound is strong today. So we should be pushing up. Look, it looks like we are rejecting this area right now. I think safe buys may be above this area with a support formed to continue right back up during New York. Let's look at gold again. Gold, we got this nice clean move. We are in this consolidation over here to the left. So we need to exit that area because once you do, you have, let's see, you got this clean move to the left, you got this clean move right here, and this clean move right here. Those are the areas that you're looking to trade, right? You can actually put this right over here. Got these two wicks right over here to the left. So once we break above this level, this is the range right here that you can trade in. You should be able to grab a nice move over here once we close above that area. That might be good enough. If we get a close, you don't need the retest. If you get a close, that could be a nice breakout trade. So let's see. Let's see what we get. So let's see. Did anybody take anything during London? I know Gary did. You want to send a chart? We'll take a look at it. Actually, you did send a chart in here. So you're 30 pips in profit right now, which is beautiful. Got this consolidation. So you took the breakout trade. You got a nice clean move to the left. This is beautiful. Got a nice candle over here during pre-New York. Stop loss at break even. You're risk-free right now. Good job, buddy. That's how you start a week. Smart trade.
Got my stop loss 10 pips in profit as well.
Awesome. That's what you want, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you guys hear that, AC?
It's good.
You can hear that?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Is it annoying?
It wasn't that. No, it wasn't that bad.
I'm just going to AC the room for a second, and then I'll turn it off. So, again, looking at the daily over here, what could we end up getting? We did close below this support over here, which is interesting, right? Previous resistance, 153. It's a strong level over here, especially because we were holding the support for so long. So we broke below that. We broke, hold on. We broke our bullish trend since December, right? Broke our bullish trend. So what are we doing over here? We just created a low with this wick. So what do you guys think we're doing? Where do you think we're heading? Gary, you have an idea?
Say that again, sorry?
Where do you think we're going on GJ now? You don't know?
No, let me have a look.
I think that 153, close to a 153,700 will be tested.
53.
That, yeah.
right over here.
somewhere in there. Yeah, that previous support will be retested to see if it'll become a resistance.
It's exactly
Either it rejects that zone or it'll break back up and go back to 154.
Could 154 right back into this consolidation over here. That'd be interesting.
Well, yeah, let's see how this daily candle reacts to that zone.
Yeah, no, 100%. Now, like we said yesterday with this bearish candle right over here, barely a bottom wick, we said 50-50. This could either continue right back down or reject this area, and that's what it did. So, nice strong bullish candle over here, but we created this low. So, are we going to form some sort of a resistance right in here to then continue right back down? Looking at the 4-hour again, got this bearish pressure over here. And then all of a sudden we get the fake out and price pushing bullish right back up to here. So we have a previous support over here when price grabbed liquidity before heading down. We created this low. So are we going to retest this low to continue down? Then also, this is where some of you guys like to use these. This is where this comes in. It's now tapping into 61.8 right over here. So are we going to form some kind of a resistance and continue down? Again, we're rejecting that previous resistance over here. So you just want to be careful.
Use the fibs on the daily. So you've got a fib long set up.
What's up?
If you put your fibs on the daily,
Yeah.
so like your low point on the trend line up to the top.
Right here?
Yep. Up to the top. So we just rejected a fib long daily, so we could continue up.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that'd be interesting. 61.8 holding that support over here. Critical level.
I think we could head back up to 154.
154, yeah. We shall see. We're just going to go by what we see. That's all. Let's see if we're still rejecting this level over here. Yep. Critical zone right over here. Need a nice close above that area, and then we have a potential move over here that we can mirror. All right, still consolidating over here to the left. We just need to close above that area, and then we take this up. Let's see fundamental. Actually, let's take a look at our indices. Japanese yen still very weak over here. Ooh, VIX. Why is the VIX up so much? What happened during London? Lagarde speaking today, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. Let's see. Nothing much economically coming out today. US 30-year yield. The two. Repo rate. No full reopening to the U.S. until 75% of Canadians are vaccinated. Wow. American Airlines canceled hundreds of flights through mid-July. Labor shortages. Wow. Wow. Not enough people going to work. Not good.
Dude, have you seen that hiring post of In and Out? They're paying $19 to $21 an hour.
Who is?
In and Out.
Wait, hold on. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was saying In and Out Burger.
Oh, In and Out. In and Out. Wow. 19 to 21 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a California establishment.
Dude, it's crazy. I mean, I understand like they usually pay above minimum wage, but this is just crazy.
Yeah,
So,
I know. And even still, people are probably still making more from the government.
mm-hmm.
And they don't even want those jobs. Crazy. 19 bucks to flip burgers. What kind of a world? That's crazy. We got treasury yields dropping. Broke below this support over here. We have a current support right here. Maybe we're holding. Got this fake out. It's right around 144. So let's look at gold. Yeah, gold is just kind of ranging in here. So rejected that area on the 15-minute. Again, previous resistance. So this would have been a tricky trade where if we entered, let's say, maybe this candle closed above resistance, thinking that we were exiting this area, would have gotten 10 pips, but at the same time, our stop loss would have been 17 pips, right? So that would have been tricky with this resistance over here. So I'm glad we didn't just jump into that. We need a nice clean close above this area. Then with New York volume, we could consolidate here and then continue right back up. But I don't want to see any sells above this bullish trend that we're in right now. These candles are getting weaker. STW. So the dollar index right over here, all of Q2, we were in this bearish trend, right? And we ended up forming a support over here. Then we got the interest rate talks on Wednesday, right? Pushed the dollar all the way right back up to 92.37, I would say. So we have our resistance right over here that we're holding. Let's see what price is going to do. Are we coming right back down to this level over here? Or are we going to correct part of this move coming down into here? And if so, should get some continuation bullish movement on gold, continuing right back up if we do get a further correction on the dollar. So that's it. We sit back and wait. David, you looking for another big week? How was last week for you? Nothing?
He's probably not not on his computer.
What's that?
He's probably not on his computer right now.
Yeah. Probably getting ready for work or something. I think that's what he was saying before. So, oh, also with the course over here, I don't know if you guys saw, but I put it in the announcement section that I added another section over here. The course that I'm doing with Sharma is all in here as well. Obviously, I have them all on YouTube, but I'm putting them in here too. And then if there's any other videos that you want me to add, please let me know. I have a whole list that I'm gonna be putting together, but well, I mean the list is already put together, but I'm gonna be putting the videos together. But if you guys want to see other things, just let me know. Don't hesitate to ask. See some more fundamentals. Oh, I found this interesting. Airlines are trying to get the UK government to ramp up pressure on Britain to ease travel rules. Guess the airlines over there are getting sick of Boris Johnson and all these lockdowns and these teases. Keep teasing people. Let's see, here's a news wrap. I love this website over here. Wow. How do you feel about this, Gary? UK media reports the UK lockdown will not be lifted on July 5th.
Yeah, extending it by another 4 weeks, I think.
My God.
I'm not so bothered. I don't go anywhere anyway.
But are the kids in school?
Yeah. Keeping the kids in school. It's just
It's
the likes of meeting, being able to meet up in people's houses and stuff like that, and having more than groups of 6.
Mm.
Because all our restaurants and pubs and all that are open, but it's like limited to like how many people you can have in a group.
So it's the what's it called? What was I gonna say? The phase that they're in. They're not gonna extend that, is what it is.
Yeah, it's just extending the final phase.
Okay.
So, and then like I say, we can start meeting up with people in their houses and whatnot, and having more than groups of 6. So at the minute it's a group of 6, but from 2 households.
Mm-hmm.
So once that's another 4 weeks on that, pretty much.
Dude, that feels like so long ago for us that we were in that. Right, Gio?
Yeah.
Like that seems like forever ago. You gotta come out here.
Us Brits are stubborn though, aren't they? We don't follow the guidelines.
Well, what percentage of the population over there is vaccinated?
Pass. I know they're offering it to like 18-year-olds now though.
I guess so.
So I've had my first one. I had my first one on June the 11th.
Kids are going crazy. Active over. U.S. equity market drop on Friday. Pre-market data. Oh, pre-markets are up. Okay. FTSE is up. DAX is up. Oh. NZD, AUD. All right, Euro didn't do much. Yen and GBP added a few points against the big dollar. So what they're basically saying is that the Treasury yields are on their way down, so it's sending gold back up a little bit. That's kind of what this move you see over here. Treasury yields right now are at a few month lows. Where are we? There we go. So we broke this bullish trend that we were in with the Treasury yield. So you got buys all above this area. We ended up consolidating over here and then breaking that area. So now we're printing lower highs over here. If you want to add this, you can. Dude, why does this do this? Hold on. Trading view is not cooperating. There you go. You want the Treasury yields. So we're just printing lower highs over here. Now we're printing new lows right back down at 144, right? So if we break that support, we're going to continue right back down. You're going to see a farther push on gold coming right back up. Treasury yields are basically the value of the dollar. How much are you making back on the dollar? We got a bullish big belt over here on the DAX for Germany. Germany's currently opened up this morning. Opened up strong. That's why you see those pre-markets. It just that's China. The dollar. Dollar is continuing right back down into this level, but it looks like bearish pressure is getting a little bit weaker in this candle. If it ends up passing the low of this candle right over here, then we could possibly get the further push bullish on gold. But right now, if we form support at this previous resistance right here, that wouldn't be good for our chances. But let's see if we get a close below this area to continue right back down. What time frame? GJ continuing up. Ended up filling this wick, but still struggling to close above this resistance right here. Keeps rejecting over here on the 5 minute. See if we get a close above. Gio, did you see Anderson Silva this weekend?
The boxing match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, why he looks so young? That's kind of crazy to me.
I didn't see the whole thing, but yeah, I just saw that he fought Chavez.
Yeah, he was dancing in there right in the corner. I saw a couple clips. I didn't watch the whole thing.
I just saw that when Canelo stepped up on the ring, and then went to Chavez corner.
Oh, Canelo was there?
Yeah, Canelo was watching, and then they called him, and and then he went to the ring and went to the corner of Chavez.
Wow. Yeah, that was kind of crazy to see. What should we do while we're waiting? We'll break down EJ over here. I have not been paying much attention to EJ lately. I don't like it. It's just really just consolidating over here on the higher time frames. But let's take a look. Since 2011, been in this bullish trend, but also in this wedge. Yeah, this is interesting. Do we have any more data? It's 2003. So we kind of broke out of this wedge right over here, just like if you look at GJ over here at the monthly, we had the same thing. We had this bearish trend right over here, and now we're reacting to it. We didn't break through it. We did on EJ. So GJ, we were saying that we may end up retracing over here, forming this bottom wick, and end up closing a weak bearish candle. The next candle ends up passing the high of these candles. We could continue right back up, just like we did over here with the strong bullish candle. See, we could end up forming this wick right over here on this candle, and then the next one, we pass the high of that, and we just skyrocket up. We need a lot of positives coming at the UK. We need to end their lockdowns, different things like that for that to happen. But we will sit back and wait. But looking at EJ over here, again, we broke out of that area. Been bullish since the beginning of COVID. March to May of 2020, just been pushing up, right? Looking at the weekly, we ended up creating this resistance over here at 134. 134 is a pretty significant level on EJ. So ended up creating that resistance, coming right back down to grab liquidity. So now we're in this area right down here. Get this previous support. All right. Previous resistance. So now we're retesting the bullish trend, holding this resistance support over here, just like GJ. Same candle that we had on GJ with barely a bottom wick. This candle ended up coming right back down into this consolidation area and flipping bullish. All right, so we're going to kind of form a next bottom wick over here and then pass the high of that candle and continue right back up. Again, positives need to come out of the euro. Lagarde is speaking today. Let's see what we have fundamentally this week. Lagarde speaks today, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. Then we got a couple other things coming out. Consumer confidence. We have Powell speaking, so obviously that affects the rest of the world. But then Wednesday, you got PMI day. You got French. You specifically want to pay attention to German flash manufacturing PMI. You want to pay attention to German PMI coming out because that really runs the euro. It's the biggest economy in the euro, right? But when it comes to the euro, you got the rest of it. You got flash PMI for the euro. Let's see. Lagarde speaks again on Wednesday. And, German IFO business climate, important. And that's about it for the euro this week. Then you got consumer climate, M3 money supply, private loans. Okay. But that's what you want to look out for when it comes to EJ. Some positive sentiment coming out of Lagarde. Maybe she piggybacks off of what Powell was saying last week, right? And you end up getting some strength in the euro. But right over here, you have this previous resistance over here to the left on the daily. So let's see if price reacts to that level. But right now, so far, we are holding the support at a previous resistance over here with a clean move to the left. Looking at the 4-hour. James, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how are you?
Nice trade this morning. Was that was on
GJ.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I took EU buys as well.
EU buys? Okay.
Yeah, I went for sells for GJ first, but then I got stopped out.
Okay.
And played out nicer than I.
Where were your sells? Down here?
Yeah, as I was rejecting. Yeah, it created the support up there.
The support?
Yeah, there. You see up top, it was rejecting. It was on the lower time frames. It was on like the 5 minutes. I took sells.
There was and was it on this candle? Or
Yeah.
The next one.
No, it was at 6:30, so it was the one before that. And then the big engulfing candle took me out. So then as the next candle after that came down and grabbed the liquidity.
Okay.
If you follow me, it's the one after that. And that's where I entered.
Nice. Now, how'd you manage risk on the loss? 1 to 10.
It kind of happened so fast. I didn't manage any risk, but it was only a small percentage.
Okay. So you only risked a little bit right over here trying to catch the rest of this move?
Yeah, because I was watching EU, so I wasn't really watching GJ.
True.
So, because I was on my iPad, so I kind of only did a small bit, and if I hit my stop loss, then mattered, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Now you're done for the day?
Yeah.
Nice. So you got 4% on this one, huh?
Yeah, that and EU together were 4%.
Good shit, man. What the hell is Vodafone? Is this the do you guys have
that's
Verizon and everything out there?
No, we have Vodafone. It's O2. I don't know what it's called now. There's Meteor.
Oh, wow. So you have no US networks. Like you don't have Sprint, you don't have T-Mobile.
No, we Virgin Media.
We used to have T-Mobile.
You used to have T-Mobile?
Yeah, it's now EE.
Okay.
They merged with Orange.
Well, I know T-Mobile over here merged with Sprint. Does that have anything to do with you guys? Do you guys have Sprint?
No.
Wow.
Never.
I never knew that. Yes, we all have our
but
own airlines and we all have our own phone networks.
Yeah, I found when I was in the States that the payment for phones was outrageous compared to in Europe.
Really?
You know, like $50 a month just for the same thing you get here for €20, you know.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. You go to Verizon, they'll really rip into your bank. Over here, we had this bearish pressure on EJ. We broke out of it with the fake out, just like GJ. So now we form this high. Are we coming down to retest this previous resistance over here? Hold support and then continue right back up. Got about 50 pips coming right up here. So if we get a support formed over here, this should be nice. Passing the high of these candles, continuing right back up on EJ. So let's see. Gold looking like it wants to hold the support over here, which it is. But we need price to kind of break out of this. Break out of this resistance or consolidation over here. I like that this candle never passed the low of this candle right here, and it's bullish. That tells me we could be coming up, but it's a very weak candle. It's a mess in here. 30-minute looks nice. But again, you look at the lower time frames, just you don't want to trade in this. But it tells me that we're starting to turn around. You see this area right here. Now we're starting to get some bullish pressure coming up. but we need to exit that area. And what do you know? We ended up rejecting this area right here to the left, right? So we could continue to consolidate in here until New York volume. Maybe around 8:15, 8:30, you get a significant move. But you got this resistance right over here that we could be retesting, form support, close above that area, and continue right back up. James, are you still in, or did you just close the whole thing out?
Oh, I closed the whole thing out because I didn't want to get greedy.
Nice. I like that. Got your
Because if I
move
was
on
still in
Monday,
it,
and
I'd
you're
be.
out.
Yeah, because if I was still in it, I'd be just constantly watching it, you know.
Yeah.
And then the greed would come, and then I don't know what else, FOMO and stuff like that, of entering again and stuff.
Well, I mean, since we talked, have you been securing like on the way up or on the way down with some of these longer term trades?
Yeah, like I was going to hold this one because it looked good, but then I just secure everything now because then it gets away the feeling of wanting more, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
I think just control the greed and then won't be too bad then.
Yep. Control the greed, control the fear.
Did you exit your sales last night?
Yeah, I actually ended up getting stopped out this morning. Obviously, I was watching this whole move. This looks awesome. I ended up moving my stop loss down to this. I think it was right there. Oh, I moved it right here above the 4-hour resistance over here, anticipating price to probably stay below 152, form resistance here and continue down while I was sleeping during London. But we ended up getting a strong pound. So I ended up.
Yeah, like I thought it was going to do that, all right. When I was looking at it this morning, I thought it was it's going to continue dropping. Like
it looked like it after this move and 152 being such a significant level, but ended up getting that fake out just like EJ, right? Breaking the bearish trend. And now we are pushing up. But before you came on, we were just looking at GJ over here and looking at where we think we're going to go. We broke the bullish trend since December, right? It's pushing up, strong bearish move below that area. We have a previous consolidation here to the left. Are we coming up to retest this level to form a resistance and continue down to retest these lows? Or is this our support to continue right back up? Gary pointed out the fib from right down here, since retesting this trend all the way up here on the daily, we're at 61.8 right down here holding this support. So are we going to continue right back up? Thought that was interesting.
yeah, like normally on Mondays we don't get a reversal like that.
No.
Normally like Thursdays.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like this bearish move right over here, and this rejection over here to the left, and a possible resistance forming anywhere in this area right up here. Get something like that, maybe something like in here, and we start turning the corner and retesting these lows. Typically with this setup, that ends up happening. Especially if they keep extending the lockdowns, you're gonna see this coming down.
Yeah.
But right now it's strong. We're just retesting our areas. Let's see our little indicator over here. Pound very strong. Yen is weak as well. Yen currency index coming down. This is, yeah, we're still respecting this area. Look at the 4-hour. New lower highs coming in. But we are holding this support over here.
Is Japan and stuff back open again?
What's up?
Japan, they were talking about closing things down again.
I think they're they've been just delaying everything. They've been behind on everything when it comes to vaccines, when it comes to opening up everything. It's actually a good question. Let's take a look at Japan. Let's see if we have any forecasts over here. This higher last week and volatile. Position for reserve. Sell-off in global equity markets drove up safe haven demand for the Japanese yen into Friday's close. Let's see Federal Reserve moves. This time off various interest concerns. See that'll drive the dollar and yen up. Safe haven currencies weekly forecast. Okay, so we haven't seen safe haven buying for a while, which serves as a sign that the financial markets are getting back to normal. In addition to the weaker stock market driving investors into safe haven Japanese yen, U.S. Treasury yields have been falling since the Fed's announcement last February. Yields are retracing because worried investors are buying Treasury notes and bonds. The falling yields are tightening the spread between U.S. government bonds and Japanese government bonds, making the U.S. dollar less attractive asset. That's not telling me much about the yen. Let's see over here. Yep. On the yen. Still ranging over here on gold. Oh, I think I just saw something. Oh, this is January 1st. No. Do any of you guys use these websites over here that I've been pointing out? Like Daily FX, you got Forex Live. Obviously, I know a lot
Using
of you.
Forex Live.
What's up?
I'm using that one. Yeah, Forex Live.
Forex Live is awesome, right? Well, let's see this. Its March policy meeting of Bank of Japan switched its ETF buying solely into. Okay, since the bank. So they're not injecting money into the stock market. They're buying ETFs right now. I guess government ETFs. This is what they manage line so far. Doesn't tell us much. We use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. One second, guys. Continuing to hold support over here on gold. She's 737 GJ. Passing the high of this candle right over here. Could we get a further bullish move? I like this a lot. Yep. As we're passing the high of this candle right over here, I've seen this setup before. You can put your stop loss right below this candle right here. And depending on volume, I mean, it's Monday, but let's wait. Let's wait till 7:45. Let's see what we get over here, because we could very well end up rejecting again, just like we did with these two candles. So wait for a close above this area, and then you get the bottom wick forming, and then we could take this right back up to 153. I only have about 11 pips over here, but that's just the 153, which is the psychological level. We could very well be coming right back up to 153, 200, or at least into this area right over here, which you have about 20 pips. Printing higher lows, which is good. But I'm not interested in forcing anything on a Monday. Yeah, I think an interesting entry would have been as this candle formed its bottom wick and then passed the high of this candle. But it would have been risky. You would have wanted to lower your risk on something like that to take this up. But there's not enough volume on a Monday to push price right back up like that. I do like that we're holding this support. I like that we got our little fake out right here. Right? We had the support holding on the 1 minute. Got the fake out. Price comes right back into that range. And now price retested the previous high up here. Right? So we need a close above this area to know that price is going to continue up. Getting some volatility right now. Got about 4 minutes for this candle to close. You might want to wait for this candle to close bullish, right? Then the next candle ends up forming its bottom wick and continuing up. If that's the case, but you need this candle to close bullish because we have a bearish candle right here. You can always end up rejecting this area again and filling this wick coming right back down, which this candle just flipped bearish. Hopefully no one took that. Come on, gold. Let's get out of there. Oh, Gio, you so happy to the Nets?
What a bust.
I know. I love it. So happy.
I guess you get the same feeling for when over here for the Clippers. Like if you're a Laker fan, you just don't want the Clippers to win.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, like you can't, like it's a different thing with the Knicks and the Nets. Like the Nets, just like it's a bunch of dudes that couldn't make it where they were at, and they all just teamed up to form this super team, and and then you get the Knicks that are like this hard nosed, not much talent, but just like we'll try to outwork you in every single game, just grinders, And you can appreciate that. And then with the Lakers and the Clippers, Lakers have won so many different championships. And the Clippers, like finally, it's not that they form like a super team. They have two, basically superstars, but they're likable,
Yep.
When you look at the Lakers and you got LeBron, you got AD, you got all those people. So it's kind of like the opposite, I would say. Where like if the Nets lost and the Knicks were in it, I think the Knicks would be a lot easier to root for.
Even Philadelphia lost last night.
I know. That was crazy. I see a lot of people like Doc Rivers and Embiid calling out Ben Simmons. What'd you think about that?
That's just crazy. Like, you heard about during his rookie years that they're saying that he could be the next LeBron.
Oh, I remember that. Hell yeah. I remember him coming out. Everyone talking about that. And I mean he was a beast. Don't get me wrong, some of these passes are sick, but like, dude, you've been in the league for how long and you can't shoot? Like, get your shooting right.
Dude, Dwight Howard has a better free throw percentage better than him.
That's insane.
You know how terrible Dwight Howard shoots before.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Dude, Shaq has a better free throw. Get this new screen cleaner. I like it. I'm gonna do it on my computer, but I don't want to mess anything up. Awesome. You guys know who Tony Robbins is?
Yes, sir.
I have this book. It's pretty cool. It says 101 greatest quotes on life goals and success from Tony Robbins, and it's just like one day a quote. I got it a long time ago, but I thought it was pulled it out of nowhere. I used to write notes in here too. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. Couldn't be more true. Gold is just rangy. James and Gary, throw those trades in the group Trello. I think I made a new folder for it. So that we could go, yeah, here we go. So that we could go over some of these trades that you guys are taking during the live streams.
Yeah.
I want to see, this was interesting over here. Yeah, I want to see the loss that you took to see like what we could do better on it. Like how we could have managed the risk a little bit better instead of letting it hit your stop loss. So just and I know we talked and you've kind of gotten away from journaling a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about it.
So maybe that could be something that could have been causing the little slump.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'll draw them tonight actually.
It's very easy once you hit a losing streak to not pay attention to your stats, not write your stats down and not to journal. Because you're like, I'm just not going to journal this trade. I know I can learn from it. I'll just keep it in my memory and we'll scratch it and we'll move on. But the thing is, like, it's like losing a game in sports. Like, you're just going to be like, all right, we lost the game. I'm just going to throw the film away and just move on to the next game and watch the next team's film. Or are we going to analyze this game real quick, see what we did wrong, see what we could do better, and then we'll scratch the film and then move on to the next team? Like, which team would you say is going to do a lot better throughout the season? It's the same thing.
Yeah, like in the evening, right, I go through the trades, but I never journal them.
Yeah. It's very easy to overtrade too.
Yeah.
When it comes to that. Because I think about it, journaling is very tedious. It's something that, like, typically you don't want to do, especially writing those descriptions. I don't mind taking the screenshots, but sometimes I just don't feel like writing the description. Sometimes I don't really need to because I know exactly what I'm looking for when I write everything I need in those bubbles, and I could just fast forward through. I could just go through my my trade and know exactly what I was thinking and what I was doing. And sometimes I'll write a little description in there if I need it. But most of the time I do need the description. But think about it, like, I know how tedious it is to journal each and every trade, print all those screenshots, write everything in the description. So that's going to, hold me back from over trading because I know I have to do that every single time. If you know you have to journal every single trade, you're not going to be over trading.
Yeah. More discipline then.
Exactly. Yeah. It helps with the discipline.
With those rejection wicks and gold, it looks like it's going to be bearish almost.
Could, yeah, putting lower highs. Oh, that's what I wanted to say too, and this ties right into what we were talking about, the journaling. I was watching, forget who it was, talking about Greg Popovich, the coach of the San Antonio Spurs, and they said the reason he's so good is because he pays attention to the details. He says the devil's in the details and everything that you do. So if you're like that when it comes to trading, think about it. Think about how successful he was in the NBA, or he is. That's why journaling is so important. Just detailed as much as possible. I know it's tedious, but guess what? Most people think it's tedious, so they don't want to do it, and that's why they fail. Gotta be detailed.
I tried Trello on the iPad. It was just awful for journaling.
Yeah, it's a pain.
And I thought like I could copy the images over and stuff. It just didn't work too well.
What I do is I just take screenshots.
Yeah.
Take a screenshot of your iPad whenever you want to take a picture. Save all the pictures in there, and then you can add the attachment on Trello and just select all the pictures in your photo library.
Yeah, it'd be easier, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just setting up the whole computer just in journal when you just have the iPad. It's handy.
It's a lot easier on the computer. But you're saying you were trying to copy the images?
Do you know how you can do it on the computer, but then the iPad it just doesn't work the same?
Yeah. Did this make sense why we didn't take this trade over here? There's not enough volume to push GJ out of this. Could we have grabbed a quick 10 pips? Yeah, but you had this rejection over here to the left, previous support, previous resistance, and that's on the higher time frames too. That's on the 1 hour. That's a 1 hour rejection right here. So what could we get? Could we get a support formed over here on the higher time frames to continue up? Maybe we're getting a retest of this area. So you guys are on more Instagram than I am. Is Wakil out in Pakistan now?
Yeah, he bought a house out there.
Crazy.
He said he mainly moved out there for his kids
Yeah, he didn't want his kids growing up in Canada.
because they had no culture or anything in Canada. At least in Pakistan, they would.
Yeah. I just don't know if it would be Pakistan, you know?
Yeah, but I suppose if you grew up there, it'd be different.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's why I understand it. But I'm saying, like, if it's strictly for the freedom aspect and how you're getting really tired of the tyrannical government of Canada right now, you know, maybe move down to Florida.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you, James. You went from if you want to talk about like freedom, you go from a safe haven of Florida right now to back to Ireland. That's tough.
Yeah, but in Florida, though, some things aren't as good as they are here. Like the food is way better here.
Yeah.
I don't know
Now,
why, but
wait, the food is way better in Ireland?
yeah, I don't know why, because it's not processed as much as in the States.
That makes sense. That's why we're the fattest nation in the world.
I know it's only a small thing, but still.
What was that?
It's only a small thing, you know, the food aspect of it. But
I mean, there's a bunch of really good food, though. Like, you could go grocery shopping and get your own food and make your own stuff, you know?
yeah, and like Florida, sometimes you see the weirdest things
Oh, yeah. A lot of creatures in Florida.
compared to Europe.
Yeah, makes sense. You guys got a lot of creatures over there, too.
Yeah, but here in Florida, like you'd see all sorts. Like I was in the dollar store, and I was just buying regular stuff, you know. And there's a guy came out, and he was about 75 years of age, and the thing was beeping, and he robbed like a load of things in his backpack and cycled off on his bike. And the dollar store person ran after him, like, but this is like a 75-year-old man, like you wouldn't get that in Europe, you know. Well, you wouldn't see it that often, like.
Listen, I've been to the dollar store. You got a lot of creatures in there, too.
It's something different, like.
Yeah, it's not exactly your local Publix.
It was good, all right, though, just the weather and stuff.
The weather's awesome.
But when it rains, it's just awful as well because of
It rains every day. But there's sun showers. They only last like an hour.
I suppose, yeah.
But I was curious, though, what forced you to move? Like, did the government, like, know you were from Ireland? Or no, was it your job?
Yeah, they have the visa, and then the visas got cancelled, and then you have 2 weeks to leave.
Oh, wow.
Like, there's a lot of people that can stay there and all that, but then you're there illegally, and they get away with it, you know. Like, there's a lot of Irish people out there illegally, and they, like, when Trump came into office first, they all got caught, you know.
Mm.
I know in Florida, there's a load of people there illegally, and they only ever get caught if the police pull them over for, like, let's say, driving or drunk driving or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's just a known thing. But people go over there on holidays, they never come back because it's so big. You know, they can't find those people.
Yep. That makes sense. It's tough though. The thing is, like, we need like a merit program, you know, where like a huge problem with the U.S. is that we take in people from all over the world to come to college, to get jobs, to work these jobs and do all those things and get really good jobs, right? And then we send them back. You know, we need a merit program where it's like, all right, this person, let's say, graduates college with straight A's and all that stuff, and you know, actually bring something to the table with a skill. We should be able to keep them here, give them a visa, right? Like for you, like, you know how to trade, you have a skill, you could be hired by a bank or something like that.
But then they look at the degree aspect.
What's
You
that?
have a degree, and they look at your college. Isn't college big over there? They look at your degree straight away. Have a degree in finance.
True.
Like there is a visa that does a skill in America, but it's like, let's say, a software development for Apple or something. It has to be a big company and like a skill like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But over the since they shut the borders down, they like cut off all those programs.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, but we need to expand on this now that we're opening back up. We're opening travel a little bit. And I guess we need to get more people vaccinated, herd immunity. But
Yeah, like you can get vaccines everywhere there, can't you? In pharmacies and everything.
what was that?
In the States, they have vaccines in pharmacies and stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, like here, you have to go to a special clinic to get vaccinated.
Really?
You have to be a certain age. You have to be old, like 40s.
Wow. Yeah, see, like, I feel like we're so far ahead of all that right now. Like, that was, I want to say, Gio, when was all that? Was it like January? Gio?
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
When was like only older people getting vaccinations? Like when the vaccinations first came out, was that back in the winter? In the fall?
Yeah, that was a few months ago. Yeah, they only trying to release the vaccine for the
Older people.
very susceptible people.
But was that still this year or was that back in last year? At the end of last
No,
year?
this it was early this year.
But didn't we have the vaccine by like November? And then maybe December people started getting vaccinated. Yeah, like you saw Biden get vaccinated, and then all of a sudden
Yeah, basically
have vaccine.
Biden took office January, right?
Took office January 20th.
And then vaccines started rolling out. I think like a week or two after, and he was taking credit of the vaccine.
Well, yeah, he got the vaccine. There's footage of him and Fauci getting the vaccine together in late December, and then he comes into office saying that we never had a vaccine when we came into office. I don't know if he's just senile or he's just lying.
I don't know, but like, yeah, but technically, he was saying that his administration is the one who actually, basically he's taking credit for the vaccine and all the stuff that's why the slowdown of coronavirus is happening.
Saw that one coming.
Have you heard?
What was that?
I never heard anything about an update of all the emails that he,
Oh,
that
Fauci?
he was, yeah.
Of course there's no update. I mean, they're all out. It's crazy. My mom works in the hospital. She didn't even hear about these emails.
No, but if this was Trump, it will be overly used nonstop, 24/7.
They'd have a panel on CNN saying, this is everything going on. Read his emails whenever you want. but they got their golden child got in a little trouble. Same thing with Cuomo, but they even started turning on Cuomo too. So let's see if we get a retest of this area right down here. It's like we were.
I'm actually looking for a support to be created. Retesting a lower area at around 152,500. So that could be the 4-hour lower wick.
Could be, yeah. Could come down here.
Could be the new
That's a
4-hour
big
lower
wick,
wick. Yeah.
That would be a huge wick on the 4-hour, something to fill. I see maybe forming a support over here, maybe around 152, 600, 620. Let's see if we react to this level over here. We can get rid of this.
Yeah, structure in the 30 minutes kind of messy. 1 hour looks better.
Yeah. 30 minutes just kind of ranging. 1 hour. Yeah, you got that retracement. Again, like I was saying, this move is so big, so overextended that we need some sort of a retracement before we continue right back up. Now, again, when it comes to trend lines, this doesn't have to be the exact trend line, right? Like it could actually end up being something like this, where we now come down into this area, right? I had it here because we were just respecting it at the time. We're just bouncing off. It looked like we were continuing right back up. But again, this could be the correct trend line over here. And then, Gio, you could be right with 152, 500 coming right back down into this area and continuing up. I'm curious of something. James.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about our president?
Oh, he took away all the volume from the dollar.
What?
He took away all the volume from the dollar.
That's true. I guess as a
like,
that's all you're looking at from a different country, right?
Yeah, like it was pumping all along, and now it's not. Like you'd see big moves weekly, but now the volume's just died down since Biden because he's not doing like the same stuff. He doesn't tweet crazy things like Trump did.
Trump could tweet one thing and fuck someone's swing trade all up.
Yeah. Like you would miss his tweets because he used to be so random.
I know. They're nuts.
I was reading some article last week regarding Biden and how other countries view him. But actually, he's more favorable with other countries because it's more peaceful, it's more calm, and there's no, commotions happening.
Not only
that's how they view it.
He puts our country last.
Yep.
That's why other countries like him.
True.
Especially
in Asia. They did a survey in Korea, Singapore, Thailand, and he's above like about 60 plus %.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's very good that we get along with our other countries. Like, it shouldn't be this hostile thing where Trump kind of had it, but at the same time, like there was world peace with Trump, right? He wasn't causing any issues, causing peace in the Middle East, which is a big surprise. No one saw that coming. I don't even think he saw it coming, to be honest with you. I think a lot of that was Jared Kushner putting that together. But he was just putting America first and making sure that our allies were paying for our troops to be supporting them, paying for any kind of, he was renegotiating any trade deals. So obviously other countries are not going to like that because they're losing out on deals and they're not ripping us off anymore, But again, there has to be a happy medium where we're getting along, but at the same time, like, you respect us. Because I mean, we're here to basically save the world. Like, we're always the first ones at bat. If another country needs something, we do what we can to help them out. Of course, we can't get to every country, unfortunately, but you know, that's just the way America's been. See, is gold doing anything? Ooh, breaking support over here. Dollar index is probably forming support over here. It's holding the support over here, like we were saying. You may have sell opportunities on gold. I'm not gonna jump into anything over here, but this is interesting too. Strong bullish candle over here on GJ. 809. Not trying to force anything over here. Could gold be coming down into this area right over here? Anything in here? Maybe retesting this area one more time. This trend, forming support and continuing right back up to retest these highs. Because like I said, the dollar index right here is holding the support right now. And then you got the resistance over here formed. That's the 15-minute. This is the 1 hour. Look at the 15-minute on the dollar. Kind of holding the support and continuing up. GJ is rejecting this area over here. Again, guys, keep in mind, if you weren't grabbing any trades this morning, it's only Monday. So there's no reason for you to jump into anything or trade anything that isn't your setup. Just sit back and watch, and you're going to have a clean slate for tomorrow or tonight when we do get the setup that you're normally looking for. Again, just stick to your trading plan. You can add setups to your trading plan down the road when you actually become profitable and you're you know, taking the right trades and everything, getting more confident with your strategy. Then you could start adding different setups that you're seeing. But for now, just back test them and live back test them, journal them. Did anybody take this move on gold? Nobody?
No.
I think it's just a pullback to continue higher.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you do have a clean move to the left right here, but
It's retesting that resistance it broke to the
right
left.
here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But like I said, it could come all the way back down into here and do something like this. Continue up. Maybe we get like a reaction to this area right here. Maybe we get a retest right here. And we continue right back down, hold support right in here. Then we continue right back up. I can see that happening. Multiple different scenarios.
Yeah, that's good.
But it is mirroring this move to the left perfectly. So you go back and you look at how you could have caught this move. Would this have been worth taking? You got the 5-minute closing below, but with no bottom wick. So that tells me we could get a retracement over here. This candle basically formed the top wick and then passed the low of that candle right away. So that's not in my trading plan to take something like that. I'd want to wait for a better top wick and that candle passing the low right away, or in the second half of the candle. 05. You know what? 04. Yeah, 805, right in the beginning of that candle, we passed the low right away. So that's something I wouldn't want to take on the lower time frames. Like, again, like you could see right here, could very well end up dropping like it did. But most of the time it ends up creating a bottom wick over here and then coming right back up. Right? And you can see a perfect example on that on the higher time frames on GJ. Right? Daily candle ended up closing with no bottom wick last week. This candle to open up the session last night, we ended up consolidating a little bit, and then we passed the low of that candle right away, and then we ended up rejecting. Happens all the time. So you want to wait for, you want a wick to be formed down here before you take that, and you want the next candle passing the low of that candle in the second half of the candle. All right, we got a bullish close over here above that area that I was marking off before. Right here. So could we get a bottom wick over here for me and then a pass to the high of that candle? $15 just closed on gold. So watch gold. If we pass the low of that candle right now, where the candle just opened, we could end up getting like a rejection wick. Something like this. And a bullish. Whoa. Bullish candle coming up this way. Yeah, see, we just passed the low of that candle just now. It's 816. So when you do that, yeah, we're going to get a retracement in reaction to this level right here. Does that make sense? Gafour, I don't know if you could talk, but how you been doing, man? I know you're still in school, kind of taking a couple classes on coding, but how you been doing with your trading? You getting back into the rhythm? Three trades last week. Okay, how'd you do? Nice. If you took them with us, then you should have gotten a couple of nice wins. Beautiful. Good shit. And now how's your confidence doing? It's better. Still trying to get used to more setups. Perfect. Just keep taking the break and retest. Like I said before, take the break and retest and just, live back test some of these other moves that you would have taken, like some capitalizing on some fake outs, right? Perfect example. GJ on, let's say, the 1 hour, right over here. So right here, you have this fake out. Price ends up breaking back into the range over here, right? Retesting with this bearish candle right over here. Then you get some volume coming in at 5 o'clock, anticipating price to at least retest the high up here. And you take this on the lower time frames, based on the lower time frames, but you see the fake out. Price breaks the bearish structure. You get a nice close above it, a retest, and then this candle passing the high of that candle right here on the 30-minute. You could have taken this as we broke the high. $17 pips stop loss. You would have still been in this. 62 pips. So it's just all about journaling these moves that you missed, or how you could have gotten them. And then also what you can do is, I was pointing this out to Tiger the other day, is form a column on Trello all the way to the right over here of your different setups. I was just doing this as an example for Tiger, but you create a card for break and retests, you create a card for fake outs, breakout trades, and whatever other setups that you like. But right over here, you have the details in here, but you have a clean break and retest over here on gold. So you write the details in here. Gold, 30-minute, date, the time, Thursday, and then pre-New York session. So the day and then the session, right? And then, you can write some more notes on there if you want. But then you add another attachment, and that could be another break and retest on a different pair that you like. Or you could just do gold break and retest and then create another card for GJ break and retest. But typically they're just about all the same. But you create a column like this, right? Create a column like that, and then before your sessions, you look over your setups and you say, okay, these are the ones that I want to take. If I get this setup, this is the only thing I'm going to take today. And it gives you a little warm up to get your eyes trained for the day, for the session. It's a great practice for you to start finding different setups. But that's another reason why journaling is so important. Oh, yeah. Dude, I can't stress enough how important that simulator is for you. Just get an hour a day in. Your daily must that we talked about, get your daily must in and put on there before you hit the pillow at night that you need to get at least an hour on that simulator in it every single night. But with this journal over here, you're going to be seeing setups that, you typically wouldn't take with live money right now because you're not used to seeing them enough, but you journal those and you write like new setup and whatever that setup is right here. And then every time you see it for the next 2 or 3 times, you journal it, you study it, and then the 4th time you could start taking it. Sometimes you could take it the 3rd time you've seen it. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, like 5 or 6 times to see it. I can't wait to get back in the gym today. My shin seems to be doing better. Wow. So like I said, you got a clean move now. look for a support to form, maybe in here. Maybe we end up holding this support right here. But it really depends on what the dollar's doing. Dollar's holding the support. If this ends up being like some sort of a fake out, if we get a fake out right here where price closes above and then closes right back into the range and then breaks through support, you're going to see gold continuing right back up. Looks like we're holding support over here on GJ. I like this. But again, we need to close above 152. Call it 900. 152, 900 right here. And they get a clean move to the left for the rest of the day. We could continue bullish from there. Nice liquidity grab right down here. We tested this level one more time, holding this support. But again, we got that rejection to the left. Again, it's Monday. No rush to jump into a trade. So 8:30. Let's see if we get a strong bullish close with a wick. And the next candle passing the high of that candle. Yeah, I think that's what we're getting over here on gold too. Don't you love it when the session gives you no opportunities?
How's that James Little doing?
James Little?
Yeah.
He's back in the office.
Uh,
He hasn't been able to get on as much.
is he from Texas? Is it?
No, he's from Tennessee.
Okay.
Close enough. Yeah, he's back in the office with the diesel stuff. He's actually doing really well trading diesel. He just has a hard time trading his own money. Um, he- and that's another example of just you can't look at the money. You got to look at the skill and stop like forcing things. Like especially when you don't have many bills to pay. Like what's the rush? You know, there is no rush. Like just focus on the skill. And if you look at the short term stuff too much, you're never going to get the long term goals. Where with trading, if you look at the long term goals, you'll get those short term milestones a lot quicker. So don't concentrate on the money right now.
So he trades diesel.
He trades diesel for the company. He made like 88. Let me see what he said. Hold on.
Where do you even trade diesel?
I know. He's trying to see if Traders Domain will offer diesel futures. That's what he's been doing, James. He's up 88,000 for his diesel futures.
So I'm going. Also, he's an investor.
I guess, but it's more just trading diesel for the company. So yeah, as futures, yeah, I guess you could say that's investing.
But his job's like he's an investor, kind of a trader. Like
Yeah. Oh, like a banker.
yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
That's a cool job, actually.
Yeah. Right.
Imagine just be given 100,000 there.
I know. We just got to
Yeah.
get him doing that with his own money.
I know.
That's why it's all psychology. It's tough.
But how does diesel futures even move? Like,
I don't know.
seems so like foreign to me. I presume it's similar to oil.
What's the ticker symbol for diesel? No. ULSD. I don't know. Yeah, it's him. So it's 8:34 over here. We're forming our bottom wick. We don't have a top wick over here. So we shall see what we get. Let's see something. I'm trying to see if this candle flips bullish. You could enter a small percentage, another one as we pass the high of that candle. And by the time we get up to these wicks up here to fill these wicks, that's 10 pips. But this is Monday. I wouldn't take that. I'm just saying this is what I'm predicting is going to happen. I want to wait for a close above this area for safe buys. Trust me, the more you take these trades over here, the more you're going to lose your confidence. You're going to get more discouraged. Obviously, you're going to lose in your trading account. Obviously, this could very well work, but it's just not worth doing. You want to take the setups that you're used to taking. Not enough range over here, but I do see that happening.
That's a paper trade I took on AMC.
Oh, nice.
It's interesting how it moves. It just respected the bullish structure.
Yeah, I mean, all pairs do that. You could trade basic price action with every single pair. It really doesn't matter what it is. It could be literally corn and wheat, and you could be trading break and retest on it. That's the beauty.
That's cool how it works. Like,
What's up?
it's cool how it all moves similar.
Oh, I love that. I think it's so interesting.
Like, I always just place paper trades in stocks just to see,
Yeah,
and more often than not, it actually works out.
it's awesome. Yeah, stocks. I think it's more, advantageous for you to trade on the higher time frames, like the 1 hour, the 4 hour, hold over the week. It's more of a swing trading thing. Day trading, you need a lot of capital to be a successful scalper when scalping stocks.
Like penny stocks. Do you ever see Tim Sykes?
Mm-hmm.
And there's one of his students is from Birmingham or Newcastle in the UK, and he turned £650 into 60,000.
Wow.
And that's while he was working full time in Dubai as an advertisement company.
And how long?
It took him 5 years to get to that. He was losing for 4 years, and he documented the whole journey on YouTube.
Wow, that's awesome. Send that over. I'll take a look at it.
And
what else were you gonna send me?
I had other videos too. I need to find them.
Oh, it was that podcast, wasn't it?
Yeah, I need to find it though.
Yeah, send that into the podcast channel.
Yeah. But this guy now, anyway, with his money now, he makes like 10 grand a month. He was able to quit his job in Dubai. But it was mad though. He was losing for 4 years, and then he hired this I don't know what you call a mind guy. This guy, mental coach. That's what you call it.
Oh, mind. I thought you meant like mining Bitcoin or something.
No, like a mind coach, mental coach, whatever you call it.
Yep.
And the mental coach, he somehow he made him profitable or whatever he did.
because it's all in your head. It's all trading
Yeah.
and psychology. Like your system is probably perfect. It's probably fine, but the only thing holding you back is your own discipline. The moment you get that right, the moment you figure it out, you're going to be good. Now, there could be other things going on in your life as well, different psychological issues going on in your life that makes it harder for you to trade, or new things popping up in your life. Like, trading live in front of people, that was new to me. So it took me a little bit to get used to that. But, now it's fine. But that's just an example.
Yeah. That guy's Instagram also got taken down.
Who's?
The guy I was telling you about, the penny stock guy.
Really?
Someone stole his Instagram as well.
Dude, so annoying.
Do you think these people just sit back on the sidelines and watch who they're going to take over today? Like,
Yeah, right. Probably.
because what do they even do with the accounts afterwards?
And it's a shame because now I see why a lot of people like don't show their face and stuff. Not that I'm gonna be changing anything, but and that could be a self-conscious thing too. But I think I've shown my face so much on Instagram. It's very easy to take my account and screenshot everything.
Yeah.
It's so weird though. It's like some kind of obsession. You have no idea who this guy is. Could be a girl, who knows? I doubt it, but it's just weird.
You wanted all your followers. Yeah, like I have like 70 follower requests, but they're all like, I went through them and they're all like bots.
Really?
I don't think any of them are real people, because I never go into my follower requests anymore because most of them are bots.
Yeah, that's gotta just is your account on private?
Yeah, I'm private. And even my sister as well, like she Instagrammed Forex, she was looking up these Forex gurus and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And straight away she got like loads of followers of bots for just Forex.
Oh, really?
Just straight away, it's the algorithm.
Yeah. If you search that, you're gonna end up getting all of them. So this is diesel futures right here. It's really been in a bearish trend. We got this previous resistance that we're at right now. Quick little breakdown on diesel. So we have a previous resistance over here. We got a bearish trend. Price is reacting to it right now. A nice bearish candle on the weekly. Daily over here. Looks like we're holding this support right now, but also rejecting this area. So we got price coming down from resistance over here. So we got the support right down here. We're paying attention to, but the only thing is this candle ended up respecting this support right over here and this resistance, forming a support. This candle passed the high of that candle right away and then rejected, flipping bearish over here. So let's see. 4 hours printing lower highs, coming down. See if we close below that area, it might have a nice clean move to the left. But yeah, you're just printing lower highs here. Little breakdown on diesel.
But how does he trade it? Does he scalp it or swing it, or?
Not sure. I'll find out today from him.
Because interesting, like all these different things we've never really looked into, you know.
Exactly. There's so many markets. So many markets. Like, look. Look at
You
this.
trade OJ.
Yeah. Orange juice.
Yeah.
Trade anything. Corn, soybeans, wheat, orange juice. Yep. Natural gas. You guys want to start trading corn next week? Open accounts on TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim. Like if you're trading that on a daily basis, you might have an issue. You might have an addictive problem. Yeah, GJ's not giving us much today. But with GJ, just pay attention. You know, you want price to exit this area. Don't trade in this. This is a no trade zone. You got a nice clean move to the left over here. And then I honestly wouldn't take sells unless maybe we break below this area. I don't know how many pips you have right here. Yeah, I don't know if I'd even want to take sells here because we're still in a bullish trend. So maybe wait until we break below this area, get a clean move to the left, get safe sells below here. All right, because we in any part of this range right here, in this range, we could be looking to form a support. Could get a rejection right over here to continue right back up. Remember, the pound is very strong right now. For gold, like we were saying, we broke our bearish trend, right? Broke our bearish trend. We are consolidating over here, right? We're in this whole range on the 30-minute right now, but we did have this fake out. So maybe we're coming down. We created a new high, got a clean candle to the left. If we hold a support right over here on the lower time frames, you start to see candles starting to turn. Right, 15-minute holding this support over here. Get the next 15-minute candle coming down, creating a bottom wick, and then flipping bullish to continue right back up. Might be a good trade to take. But I'm about to hop off. Does anyone have any questions? Are all good?
All good.
All right, boys. Nice seeing you again. See you tomorrow morning, as always. Guys, plan out your day. Remember what we talked about yesterday. Choosing your mind over your feelings. And if you guys didn't see the breakdown yesterday, go back and watch it in the database. Nice little pep talk at the end there. So, guys, have a great day. Like I said, if you have any questions at all, let me know, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?
See you guys later.
See you, boys.
See ya.